Here we are. Welcome to this video. More so, welcome to this live video premiere. There's a lot going down. You know, you may not be able to hear me from here, but then again, when you're standing on a podium looking down upon everyone, all the subjects and loyal ones, you know, one might have to speak up a little bit more. Now, I look a little bit confused, don't I? I look like I've travelled to Rome, reclaimed my throne, conquered the gladiatorial arena, but then also got lost in Germany trying to find the German sausage. Yeah, it's an honest, hard mistake to make. Yeah, I hope Missy is present to teach me, you know, what to do correctly. And as for the Roman royal gown, the best one could do was the owl one. There you go. So who was it that said I look like a Roman soldier or some kind of Roman legionary? It's probably Christie. Wasn't it Christie? I told you it would arrive eventually. It's even fluffy at the top so all the kitty cats can scratch at it. It's like a little scratching post and it's really soft. Yeah, you want that in your face? Yeah, you like that? I hope you do. So yeah, that's what it looks like from the side. The problem is with this hat, this helmet I should say, when I look down, it makes me look like a psychopath because of my eyes, as you can see. And then from the side, it makes my nose look bigger. So I guess it's an accurate representation of a Roman soldier. Now, since that's out the way, the gloves are off. In the words of Ty Corbyn, okay? In this case, it's probably more the gown has been released. So yeah, basically what we're going to be doing today is taking a look at Dylan Rounds once again, okay? Following on with that discussion. I came across an interesting article which I want to share with you, okay? And what it's regarding is Dylan Rounds. Take a look at it, read through the information, see if it's up to date first of all, see if there's any corrections that need to be made, established, and then in addition to that, see if there's any like new information, if it's updated, what not, why not. And on top of that, there is also talk about Aidan Clune as well. So it's like a 2-in-1. See what it's got to say about that, if it's treated as a complete cold case or if there's been any new developments added in. And on top of that, the actual article is almost like a collection. It's like looking back at the year of 2022 and some of the more notorious or more well-known cases and crime. It's a true crime 2022 recap, which just so happens to include Dylan Rounds, okay? So it does look quite interesting, the article. I'll read it to you. You can listen along, analyze it yourself. Take in mind in the live chat, you can share your thoughts, opinions and reactions, just like how you did last night. Last night was very funny and it got to that point where I was so tired from laughing, I couldn't type as much on the keyboard, okay? And then as for sleeping, that was a whole different case, that, my God. Well, it was late at night, but it was worth it. As for Salty Pancakes, not sure what's going on with him. I think there was a live stream, but it's no longer there unless it was taken down or privatized, whatever. But yeah, you share your thoughts in this video too. So once again, it's that time where coming towards the end of the year, seems like things are dying out in terms of what to cover, what to do and what not to do. But new information, new ideas, new material has come along recently, okay? And I'll do it in advance, right? Just in advance before I forget, you know, credit to Ty Corbyn for sharing some of his comments here and there, okay? And credit to Estef, I think that's how you say their name, Estef. She provided the odd few screenshots too, and maybe even Glitter Galaxy as well recently, and I guess even Christie as well too. So numerous different people, okay? Anything else? As for the last video, as you can tell, Ty Corbin was present, which was good of him to be present. But then again, because of the title of the video, he probably, was hoping pancakes would show up. Pancakes did not show up from the looks of it, but maybe one or two of his followers appeared in the chat, possibly. I didn't really notice any rats myself. If some of you did, list it down below, but I think it was somewhat good behaviour, surprisingly. And yeah, hopefully Ty Corbin, to an extent, enjoyed the previous video, and if he's got any more additional points, thoughts to list in this video, he can once again, okay, just like everyone else. So, one more thing, the Find Dylan Rounds Facebook page, I did have another, just have another peep at it, had a look, didn't see anything of interest, so we're not looking at that today. I think we should get straight into this article, okay, and then transition on to the discussion forum. And of course, it is also the important continuation of the exposing of WarLike Raph and Gorilla Jack tonight. Both will be exposed, going in deep, reaching distances unknown to most humans, okay? So there is still that to come. But first of all, let's head on to Dylan Rounds and try and conquer today, okay? Right, so here is the website. As you can see, the title, Elko County's Top Crime Stories of 2022, Elko Daily. Now, there was a possibility we might have been on this site previously in the past when it came to Robert Aviles, if you remember, with his arrest at the time. And maybe another case too could have been Aaron Wadsworth, if I'm correct in saying. That might have been on the Elko County site too, as for news articles. Now, just a brief backstory. The reason why I have looked at this, type of website and crimes in general is to see if there was a pattern that could be established, right? Around the time of Dylan going missing, it was questioning, has anyone else gone missing in a short space of time as Dylan? Before, after, same time, what? And in addition, what type of crimes have been most popular, most common during the time of May, June, maybe July? Is it to do with a lot of drug dealing? Is it to do with a lot of trafficking? Is it to do with a lot of assault and attacking people when you shouldn't? If you could establish that sort of pattern, you could say, well, maybe Dylan Rounds got tied up in it. Maybe he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. You get what I'm saying? So what this article does, it looks back through the year of 2022 from start, middle to end of all the important and, I guess, critical moments of crime that's taken place. And for Dylan Round to be mentioned in this, that is interesting, considering it was bordering on, well, probably not now, but it was like bordering on towards the end of the year because it's still ongoing now. You know what I'm saying? And I guess it depends the quantity of cases. If there's been lots and lots of cases and Dylan Rounds finds a slot in this, that is a positive, right? Considering no press conferences, press releases as other cases. You know what I'm saying? But let's just start reading it just to get an understanding. You got some images there related to different cases and people. The one on the right could be like drug smuggling, possibly. What do we have here? Okay, so it gives a caption of the photos. Top left, law enforcement released this photo of man sought in a 3-state crime spree that included Elko County. He was later identified as Jamie L. Cochran and charged with multiple crimes. On the right-hand side, fentanyl is stacked in a vehicle that was stopped on US Highway 93 in September by Nevada State Police. Bottom left is Sheriff Aitor Narvaza thanks county commissioners in December for their support following multiple incidents in the jail that resulted in injuries to the staff and damage to the facilities. So that's a little caption of the photos as you see there, okay? As it was done in order, top left, followed by the right, followed by the bottom left, okay? So, I guess it's just done in a... I don't know what exact order it's done in, but we'll read it as we go along, okay? It might be interest of you. It might reveal a new case for you to look at, or it might remind you of something. So we'll just read it in the correct order and analyse if possible. Top left. Law enforcement released this photo of... Okay, we've seen that. It's just basically the same thing, but just in bigger text, isn't it? Okay. Elko. Fentanyl abuse spread havoc across Elko County. 2 young men were convicted of murdering teenage girls, and the Elko area saw an average of 1 shooting incident per month in 2022. That's interesting, that. That sort of crime, that sort of statistic, could tie in with Dylan Rounds, basing it on a certain theory, of course, okay? So fentanyl abuse, I assume, is a type of drug, and it's being used quite a lot, whether it be because it's very accessible or it costs a lot so you can make money off it, possibly. Spreading across Elko County, right? And it might cross into Lucin, cross into Montello, they're driving through, going down the back roads, the off-road type areas to avoid police detection, We saw it with Robert Aviles, but Elko County, near that area, he was stopped, apprehended by police, charged, found drugs in the back of his car in the past, right? So passing through like that, it's just so happened to happen with other individuals. And as for the age, that doesn't seem to matter. It's all different ages, right? Here, 2 young men. As for Aviles, he was much older when it happened. But it's the fact that it says on top of it, that the 2 young men were convicted of murder. And it says teenage girls, more than 1. So, okay, I don't know exactly what the age of these 2 men are, but they were targeting teenagers, right? Okay, of the opposite gender, female. That kind of ties in with the Montello crimes, where females of a younger age were being mistreated and bad things were happening to them in the past and maybe in recent time. So you've seen some crossovers and patterns there, that possibly females are targeted, right, in this case. But because it says teenager, right, was Dylan classified as a teenager? Maybe labelled more as a young adult, teenager, merging into a young adult, I would say. He could still have been mistaken for a teenager because he kind of looked young in the face, if that makes sense. He could have been targeted. And because it says fentanyl abuse, right? What if Dylan Rounds was caught up in that whole, what would you call it? Epidemic of, drug usage or drug dealing. And Dylan witnessed something he wasn't supposed to, or there was a deal near the grain shed, at the grain shed within Lucin, and it was wrong place, wrong time. Dylan was silenced. Whether it be because he saw something he wasn't supposed to, or he was going to call the police. Something like that. That is an example of an external crime, certain type of crime, by certain type of people and certain types targeted, which could tie in with Dylan's disappearance. That's one of the, meanings behind this video, right? And it might be of use to you. The fact that it says that Elko area saw on average of 1 shooting incident per month, is that very high? I guess if you compare it to other states in the US, it's probably pretty low. But we got to take in mind Elko County, Lucin, Montello, little towns, dead ghost towns, whatever. The population tends to be very low. So you've got to take that in mind in terms of the ratio of shootings to the population of people present in like a rough area such as Elko County, right? You can correct me if I'm wrong down below, but what I'd say is that an average of 1 shooting incident per month with a lowish population, in certain areas at least, that seems quite common. It seems kind of bad, right? But you take in consideration that you look at the signs in the area and you're going past roads, it's got bullet holes in. Obviously, you've got the hunting season. You got to take in mind, I saw it recently that with, I think it was Elko County News, that a hunter was seriously injured because his colleague or friend accidentally shot him. So it's not all planned, you know what I'm saying? It says shooting incident. So it takes in mind maybe possible murder, attempted murder, some kind of manslaughter, and getting shot, getting hurt, but surviving. So it falls under different brackets. It's like an umbrella term, would you call it, right? So it's kind of vague, hence why the ratio may be higher, okay? And as well, the way it's been worded, like with Brenner, we direct it more to Brenner because that key line about shooting incident, the possible theory that did Brenner shoot Dylan? Was Brenner's gun ever retrieved? Aside from the 3 firearms, which were handed over to Don Haley to try and store, keep, hide them, right? They were returned, surrendered into the police hands. But and you can answer this down below in the live chat, did Brenner have like an actual firearm on him? A handgun, a revolver? Do you like how Dylan had his own gun in his truck? Did Brenner have one of his too? Like his own personal gun? Or were the only guns he had were passed on to Don? Let me know your thoughts down below, okay? Because it could explain it. Because I did see the odd few comments in recent time, people saying that Brenner's firearm, was never found. And if that truly was the case, then you could put the argument forward that maybe the possible murder weapon is still out there. And if not, maybe Candice Cooley, the team, whoever's volunteering, found it, and that's what that recent development is behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Bear in mind, I'm taking balance into notes with all the different possibilities of how Dylan could have been taken out, right? We're not going all in on one idea. We're looking at it collectively as a whole, holistically, okay? So is there anything else I missed here? I mean, as I said, with Brenner, people have said, I think it was Candice Cooley and some others, that Brenner, or was it Lance? It was someone within the case searching, said about how Brenner would shoot people on sight. Maybe not directly, but, warning shots, possibly. Is that true? Is that what Brenner used to do? Like, if you went on his land or you went too close to his trailer, would he just instantly pull the gun out and start firing? Or, would he be talkative? Would he at least warn you off beforehand? What's the deal with that? Is he a bit trigger happy? I'm interested. Because, it's just one of those, things I've heard loosely by people. Anyway, let's continue reading. It says, several arrests for fentanyl trafficking were reported in northeastern Nevada, but there seemed to be plenty of supply to take its place. According to the Drug Enforcement Administration, China and other foreign countries produce fentanyl that is commonly smuggled into the United States through Mexico. No surprise. Border Patrol agents in one sector alone have seized more than 1,000 pounds this year, roughly double the amount in 2021. I assume when it means 1,000 pounds, it means 1,000 pounds in weight, LBS, and not pounds in British money, right? Must be. But you see, where it's produced, and the amount of it, okay? As for the value, I'm not sure how much it's worth, but if you got the quantity and you can move it in bulk, then it can be an attractive thing to some people. You take in mind as well, it'd be parts of Nevada, parts of Lucin, Utah, Elko County, maybe Park Valley nearby there. Places where it's a little bit desolate, lower population, could be a bit poorer, could be a bit more rough, criminal activity is on the rise, or, high at a high throughout the years, no pun intended there. And people seek other means and ways of making money, such as the drug trafficking, right? You had all the people talking within the Dylan Rounds case, saying, "Oh, is Montello a hotspot for the meth labs?" Then you had the likes of Pancakes accusing Ty Corbin of taking stuff as well. So, you can see like how the links can follow and how Dylan Rounds could have been caught up in it in some way. Anything else here? It roughly doubled the amount in 2021, so even more higher than usual. The impact on Elko and other communities across the country has been devastating. The Elko County Sheriff's Office reported a big increase in drug overdoses and more violence, vandalism, and psychotic behaviour at Elko County Jail, which they blamed on fentanyl. So what? They took the drug fentanyl whilst in jail, or did they take it before going into jail? Which way round was it? I mean, either way, people that might take a bit too much in public, in the open, could have negative side effects. The question I put to you, do you think there's a possibility that Dylan was harmed, hurt, killed on the spot by an individual under the influence of fentanyl, or just a drug in general? Let's do a poll right now, because this seems to be the current theme and topic within the year of 2022, right? Do the poll now. Feel free to vote. Make sure to do so. Leave your thoughts in addition down below in the comment section, okay? But the bit where it says overdoses, not really seen any stats or anything like that on overdose. As for Brenner, who is locked up, well, not literally, but, in custody, do you call it in custody? In Weber County Jail, okay, Weber County Jail, and Chase Venstra being held elsewhere. How's Chase Venstra holding up? Is he struggling or not? As for Brenner, he seems okay, and from what other people have said themselves from observations, he's actually got better treatment now than he has ever done before, like in terms of being a walking free man. He's better, treated better, and healthier when locked up. So he's not really going to complain, is he? So he doesn't seem like the type of guy to take drugs and maybe overdose because he can't handle it. But what about Chase Venstra? Has Chase Venstra been under the influence of drugs before? Do you think there's a chance that he might take them whilst in jail, or if he goes to prison because he can't take it? What do you guys think? Is that a possibility, or not at all because they just don't participate in that stuff? I want to know your thoughts down below. All I would say is it wouldn't surprise me that maybe drugs played a part in the disappearance of Dylan Rounds, directly, indirectly. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me, if it seems common in the area or spread out. It's just a matter of wrong place, wrong time, Okay. Anything else? People are also reading. As of October, the jail had more than 200 mental health holds, twice the number from the prior year. Sheriff Aitor told Elko County commissioners in September there had been 10 suicide attempts and 5 injuries to staff members who were attacked by inmates. He added this month that inmates have been kicking doors, breaking windows, and pulling shanks from the glass, causing thousands of dollars in damage. So, you've seen it, aren't you? Like how they behave. Now, if we just briefly tie it to the Wadsworth, the likes of Troy and Scott that have spent time in jail, but more so way back in the past, like 2003, 2004, around that, and maybe a bit later on. Did they ever have side effects? Because there's been talks. I'm not talking about like the last rumour where No Thanks Doug said that Scott Wadsworth was on drugs and then he was arrested by police, and then Scott Wadsworth did a video later explaining the situation and saying, I didn't go to jail at all. You know, that was a bit of a weird patch. But before that, Wadsworth members, family members, any Wadsworth people that are on drugs right now, or around the time Dylan went missing, or just a bit before, you know, is that the case? I mean, what about Aaron Wadsworth, one of the sons or something? Is it the son of Kurt Wadsworth or the son of someone of the Wadsworth family who Aaron, and his friend were raided or something? Their house, or a house they owned or was using, was it methamphetamine? Certain type of drug. And, you know, police went round and found it all, and then they were arrested. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just using it from my memory. And that was from the Elko County News Report, I believe, when I looked at that back then. I think that was on the video, the Wadsworth's analysis, because I actually did a video overall on them, including most of the different individuals, okay? Now, you look back to the past, any of the Wadsworth brothers, Wadsworth family members who may have been in jail back then, may have been on drugs at the time, did they have any severe negative bad reactions? Yes, no? Because from the looks of it on here, at least, speaking of 2022, it's been kind of rough within the jails, right? Interesting how it says the jails. So it's not prison, it's the jails. Okay. I mean, people have said that prisons are worse than jails, isn't that correct? Jail is first, followed by prison. So if the jails are pretty bad, the way it's worded here, then what are the prisons like? But yeah, just goes to show that the side effects, the negative of consequences of taking the drugs, not only that it can tie in with a crime caused by the person under the influence, but also the side effects afterwards, where they either take it out on themselves or on someone else. Narvisor said state prisons won't take the violent inmates, and mental health facilities in Western Nevada are understaffed. There's your answer. That explains that. The prisons won't take violent inmates, so the jails have to put up with those guys. Now, if that's the case, can that also apply to Weber County Jail? Or is that different? Doesn't mention it here, does it? I was just going to say, if Weber County Jail had violent inmates because they couldn't be taken to prisons, then, you know, could Brenner accidentally get caught up with one of the inmates and get hurt, get killed? It's not happened yet, but for whatever reason, if it ever did, that would be the worst case scenario, right? But I guess there's more chances of Brenner being safe where he's at now compared to if he was walking free. If he was walking free, you might get a vigilante who takes it out on Brenner, takes him out literally. But, you know, you can't discredit completely. The same can still happen in prison indirectly. Or, well, should I say Weber County Jail before prison. Look someone in the eye the wrong way, or you're surrounded by some other inmates who have some issues, whatever that may be, drug-related or not, side effects, in a mood, takes out on Brenner. If Brenner died, or even if Brenner just simply died due to health complications, natural causes, whatever that may be, then what about the whole Dylan Rounds case? Like, even if they found Dylan's body after Brenner passed away, the justice isn't quite there, is it? It's kind of rough, kind of, in a way, unfulfilling, I guess. Anyway, let's continue reading. Under Sheriff Justin Ames said the crisis has worsened because fentanyl users can take 3 to 4 months to get back to normal behaviour, unlike those on other illegal drugs who can return to normal in 24 to 72 hours. The introduction of fentanyl into the drug world is killing us right now, he said in October 2022. So you get like a date now of what's been going on and when. So Yeah, 3 to 4 months. That's quite some time, right? So you could even say that within the Dylan Rounds case, you could have had someone taking drugs, being under the influence 3 months before Dylan went missing, but because it takes that long for the effects to wear off, in the meantime, the person could have been acting out and took it out on Dylan, right? There's always that possibility. Anything else we need to look at? Not really. Next part says an Elko woman was booked in November on more than 1 million bail after narcotics detectives said they confiscated large quantities of fentanyl and methamphetamine from her. I wondered when that was going to pop up. God, 1 million bail. I mean, taking in mind from what we've heard previously of different cases, whether it be Elko County or a bit further afar. As for Brenner, the first time, it was said that his bail, and Brenner paid it himself, credit to Indiana who passed on the information, that was $5,000, okay? Then you move on to, was it Troy or Scott Wadsworth? It was a little bit more, okay? And then you skip to some other individuals to do with other cases, and they had to pay, I don't know which way around it was. There was a man and then there was a woman for different crimes, and one had to pay like 15,000 or something, or 20,000, and it was still like, wow, is that high enough? What's the highest amount you can pay or have to pay? And we didn't seem to come across anything too like extremely prominent, though I'm sure I saw one drug-related one and the bail was $250,000, possibly. That is in my mind, in my memory. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this one here, 1 million bail. Wow, this person's not messing around, right? All due to the drug-related crime and it being large quantities, bulk, fentanyl, mass-produced. Makes sense there. And the whole methamphetamine, tying it in with the Wadsworth, Aaron Wadsworth, and that situation. Yeah. Now, bit of a silly question, but once again, I'm not a drug expert, which is probably a good thing. Is methamphetamine the longer word for meth? Is methamphetamine, is it the same thing? Just let me know. I'd say so, if you shorten the word down. But I just wanted to make sure, okay? And the person responsible was called Erica C. Jensen, 39 years of age, was a golf course food and beverage manager who allegedly told detectives with the Elko Combined Narcotic Unit she was in possession of 18,000 blues, a type of counterfeit oxycodone pill containing fentanyl. Officers said they seized 1,487 grams. Wow. So this person, as for what they do, they've already got a job. Maybe it pays fairly well, I'm not quite sure, but she's not like living rough from the looks of it, and yet still participating in crime like that. But it can happen to anyone. People can get caught up in it. People can be attracted to it regardless of where they stand on the ladder. But yeah, another prominent high-profile case from the looks of it. Fentanyl was also seized during an Elko traffic stop in March, following a car chase in July, during a theft investigation at a West Wendover casino in July, during an attempted robbery at Walmart in July, during a highway traffic stop north of Ely in September, and during an arrest at an Elko motel in December. Okay, Elko motel. So that ties in with those motel videos, what we've been doing with time, whether it's looking at Don Hately, Chase Venstra, maybe Aviles, maybe Dylan, maybe Brenner, whoever, wherever, Kurt Wadsworth, Aidan Clune, we've looked at these motels, and out of all of them, it might just happen that one of them was involved in a crime event, such as what we see on screen right now. Now, just correct me if I'm wrong, but the bit where it says during an Elko traffic stop in March following a car chase. Has that got anything to do with Robert Aviles? It says Elko traffic stop. So what? Is that in a populated area? I mean, traffic stop. Was there a lot of cars present, vehicles? Would he get the red lights and then the police pulled up? I'm not quite sure. It's just because I remember it being worded in the past, because it's not mentioning the name here, that Robert Aviles was pulled over by police during a chase. So it just sounded kind of similar to here. If I'm wrong, correct me. You're welcome to. Okay. You know, sometimes they don't always mention the person's name, so it's kind of a guessing game. Now, aside from the whole drug crime situation in 2022, which seemed to be quite high and frequent, we look to the murder convictions, the high-profile ones of 2022. And it says, other crime news in 2022 included 2 murder convictions in the deaths of 2 16-year-old girls 2 years earlier. Now, has this got anything to do with the thing what we read further up to the drug situation and those 2 younger adults taking it out on the teenage girls? I wonder. Possibility. And it says conviction, so it, like, the conviction part seemed to be successful, right? Now, if it turned out and Dylan was found and Brenner was charged, then, you know, Dylan would be mentioned most likely in this murder conviction tab, but obviously not the case. Though, let's just carry on reading this. It says, in May, jurors found Bryce Dickey, 20 years of age, guilty of first-degree murder and SA. Basically, can't say it on YouTube because they won't like me saying it, but you can read it yourself. With the use of a deadly weapon in the death of Gabrielle Brittany Ulgelecki. Dickey had driven his close friend to an isolated spot just outside of town where he indecently did what he did to her and strangled her. He was sentenced by the jury to 20 years to life in prison, but District Judge Mason Simons added 50 years. Okay, interesting. No death penalty given here. Just wanted to make note of. Like how there was talks of Brenner possibly receiving the death penalty, right? Okay. So, and this was to do with a close friend who was taken out by Bryce Dickey. Bryce Dickey took out a close friend. So it's that situation of the person that was impacted, hurt, killed. You know, the killer knew them in some way. That pattern, that concept, so possibly like with Dylan as well. Whoever took out Dylan knew Dylan in some way, that type of situation. Now, the actual method here, strangulation, okay? You know, that's been ringing bells with possibly Brenner strangling Dylan Rounds, choking him unconsciously onto the ground. That's a possibility. You remember that? Do you still think it's a possibility now? And leave your thoughts down below. Feel free to do so. What else do we have here? In October, 26-year-old Justin Mullis was convicted of first-degree murder in the shooting death of Kylie Lennis. Mullis was seen approaching the drive-through window at the East Elko McDonald's and firing point-blank at the employee. She died of a single gunshot wound. Mullis accepted an agreement to be sentenced to life in prison without possibility of parole, so he's in there for good. And, you know, once again, it's kind of interesting this. Elko McDonald's. Have we ever looked at Elko McDonald's? We looked at Wendover McDonald and maybe some places in Salt Lake City or Ogden, but I don't know about Elko. Still a possibility that we might have done, okay, if any of you remember. But as you see, once again, it's a shooting incident, if you call it that, a shooting-related crime. So that possibility that there's a dependency on firearms in the area and on the outer skirts when it comes to taking out someone, not all down to hands, but down to objects, right? Then we've got another subtitle, Crime Spree. A Pennsylvania man was jailed in Elko after 3-state crime spree that began in Utah and ended in Oregon. Jamie L. Cochran, 42 years of age, of Pittsburgh, is suspected of burglarizing a daycare in Salt Lake City on September the 11th. Before driving a stolen van to Elko County, authorities said the suspect pulled off the freeway at Deef, where he drove through a gate and towards a man, nearly striking him. He then entered a cabin owned by another man where he used a Colt .45 revolver from the cabin to shoot open a safe, stealing at least 4 other firearms in addition to the Colt. So what we're seeing here is similarities with other kind of like suspects at a point in time within the Dylan Rounds case. Although Robert Aviles has been cleared in the past when there was suspicion around him, there was like association with his previous crimes, that Aviles was known to do burglaries and steal stuff from different places, including Montello, I believe. And the same with Chase Venstra, how he would steal things and move along and then maybe also find stuff for people too and then bury it. Same here with Jamie Cochran. So you see similar patterns in behaviour. And as well, definitely the bit about going to a cabin to steal 4 other firearms, kind of similar to what Brenner did when he went to a nearby trailer of someone's that owed him money, and instead he took a firearm off them, the .22 rifle, which then was passed on to Don Hately, in which Don Hately eventually surrendered into the FBI, interviewed and stuff, and that led to the arrest of Brenner, right? So you see these patterns of behaviour. It's not just Brenner. So what you can also take in mind is the concept that although Brenner is one of the main suspects, and although he's got a criminal history record and he's known for doing this and that, there are other people out there close or further afar that have done similar things too. So Brenner is not the only one. Just like how you look at other suspects too within the case. Okay? It goes on. Continuing from that individual, said he then travelled to Elburz, where he kicked in the door of a residence and demanded the resident at gunpoint to give him the keys to a pickup that was parked outside. At some point, the man stole a Polaris ATV and evaded authorities despite a multi-agency manhunt that continued through the night. A Polaris ATV, what you would have seen within the Dylan Rounds case, such as when Lance documented the police force and the searchers coming in to Montello to Brenner's burnt down trailer. They had the dogs, but they also had those ATVs on the trailers. And also Kurt Wadsworth supposedly has an ATV too, and I saw it in Heavy D's video as well with their ATV, and when assisting Ty Corbin and Lance at the time, Bald Eagle Mountain. So it's common use of equipment there, vehicle, because off-road, the terrain, the environment, right? It makes sense. Just another little link there I just wanted to point out, okay? Continue reading. It says, on September 14th, he was spotted in Roindon, where he stole a Dodge Dakota pickup with attached trailer containing a lawnmower. Another chase began involving a state trooper. The man drove west and the pursuit had to be called off in Humboldt County for safety reasons. I guess so there's no car crashes, I guess. That's what it means. Funny how it mentions a lawnmower. I guess that would just happen to be in the trailer at the time. But you think of lawnmowers, you think of Chase Venstra, you think of Brenner's original place of living and the lawnmowers just being scattered about. Even Ty Corbin came across one on the side of the highway as well. Then it says he was finally taken into custody September the 15th by an Oregon State Police Fish and Wildlife Sergeant, a U.S. Forest Service law enforcement officer, and a Bureau of Land Management Ranger. Okay, that's what it means by BLM, as you've seen within the Dylan Rounds case and Kenny Veach. That's what it means. Now, we finally move on, specifically focused on Dylan Rounds and Aidan Clune. Are you ready? Let's see what they have to say. Titled there, Missing Men. So they're calling them men, young adults, right? Okay, just wanted to, yeah. So it says 2 19-year-old men who were reported missing earlier this year remained missing in December. So they're keeping this relevant and up to date because that is the case. They have not been found yet. It says Aidan Clune of Sonoma County is known to have travelled from California to Utah on April 26. He then drove back to Nevada and stayed the night in Wells, checking out of a hotel room at approximately 6:23 a.m. April 27th, he travelled south on the US Highway 93 and parked his pickup truck on the shoulder near the mile marker 23. At approximately 8:50 a.m. on April 27th, a Nevada State Police trooper found the vehicle abandoned. Yeah, that seems to tie in line with what we've seen previously. It says about a hotel room. I thought it was a motel, but there you go. That's how it's worded here. And he was alone in that hotel from how it's been worded previously too. An extensive search turned up only tracks. And it says in quotes, during the tracking process, Aidan was taking off his shoes and running part of the time. He would remove his shoes and walk across roads barefoot, stated the sheriff's office. It is our belief that Aidan was suffering from a mental episode that caused him to not only leave his vehicle, but that he made very intentional efforts to not be found. I mean, same with Kenny Veach, made efforts not to be found. I mean, yes, his phone was left out there, his vehicle too, but did they find Kenny? No. For 7, 8 years onwards, they still haven't found him. So Kenny did something to avoid being found, right? Same could apply to Aidan, though are both similar in terms of both experiencing mental issues, psychological health problems. Well, been associated that Kenny Veach supposedly was suffering from depression, and saying that Aidan may have had depression, some kind of it too. But, with Kenny Veach, the way he acted, the way he was, and, the other additional information and material, what we found down the line, it seemed to dispel that idea. So maybe Aidan, was suffering more inside. And truly, the fact that it's the way it's worded, he took his shoes off on and off at times. Like, was that just when crossing the road? And then, well, no, because you think about it, I heard it worded previously where, and as it says here, taking the shoes off to cross the road or so, which is a bit odd because you're not really going to leave any track marks going across a tarmac road, okay? Then going into the desert with the shoes on, leaving track marks, but then at a certain point taking them off again, which then there was not like the shoe imprints, but just like dents in the ground from the foot, right? And also attempts made, which it doesn't seem to say here at the moment, where Aidan crawled under bushes, which is a bit odd. There'd be no need for that. You crawl underneath a bush. You might get all kinds of things on you. Would you get ticks? Would you get bitten, scratches, cacti, whatever? Scratches. It'd be uncomfortable, right? It's not like what you'd normally do. Really, the only time you would crawl into a bush is if you're trying to hide from someone or something. Now, I don't know how big the bushes are in that desert area. Most of the time I've seen them from hike footage, they've been kind of small, and you try hiding under one, you'll be easily detected if it's in a vast open desert terrain. Unless you're in a mountainous part and you're hiding behind the trees and stuff, where it's a bit thicker. Certain time of the season, right? So, yeah. Let's continue reading. It says, volunteer searchers covered more than 157 miles with canines, 651 miles with volunteers walking, 85 miles on horseback, 265 miles on ATVs, and hours of searching with aircraft. So some of those methods were used within the Dylan Rounds case too, like the canines, people walking around, volunteers, ATVs and aircraft flyby, such as like Heavy D. But was any horseback used in the Dylan Rounds case? Because I've not really heard much about that. And as for the statistics here in terms of mileage covered and how it's been broken down by the different types of resources, with your own knowledge and what you know of in like right now up to now, leave your thoughts in the chat. Was more done here with Aidan Clune than Dylan Rounds, or are both similar? Were both underdone, underwhelming? What are your thoughts on that, right? Because I've not really seen a breakdown of the mileage of the Dylan Rounds case by all the different groups. Okay? So, in another case, this is where we move on to Dylan Rounds, okay? In another case, a month later, Northwestern Utah farmer Dylan Rounds went missing the day after visiting Montello across the Nevada line. The Elko County Sheriff's Office assisted the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office with the investigation on both sides of the border. They were later joined by the FBI. Okay, so I think that seems to check out so far. Like he went missing the day after visiting Montello. Yep, that seems to be the case. And then goes on to say, a man described as a squatter who reportedly helped Rounds with farm work was later named as a suspect. James A. Brenner, 59 years of age, was arrested on a charge of being a felon in possession of a firearm. Yes, that's worded correctly from the looks of it. In quotes, he was either squatting on Dylan's property or at the property adjacent to Dylan, and he had no right to be there, said Deputy U.S. Attorney Carlos Esquada. Now that quote is an old one, okay? Take that in mind, it's an old quote. Because from what we've seen, where Brenner was squatting at was at the grain shed, and that is a place Dylan did not own. He may have used it, but he did not own it, okay? And as for the whole adjacent thing, living there adjacent to Dylan's actual property or ownage of land, that's a 5 mile distance, so it's not exactly accurate. That's why that by Carlos Esquada is old news, technically speaking. Anyway, says rewards have been offered by the families in both missing person cases. Now, I've not looked myself, but what is the reward money for Aidan Clune? Because I've just not come across it, right? What's the reward money? What number is it at right now? Has it increased or has it stayed the same? If any of you know, list it down below. It'd be interesting to know. I mean, the talks of reward money with Dylan Rounds. I mean, it's one of those things like $200,000, a lot of money, right? And yet no one's come forth, not even people with false, dodgy information. You thought there would have been some desperate, opportunistic people out there, right? Hasn't been the case. So what's gone on? What is going on? Makes you think, right? So is that it for that with Dylan and Aidan? It seems to be the case. Let me know if there's any missing information or misinformation you can think of, right? It was fairly summarised. It didn't say... The thing is, it didn't mention too much recent stuff like with Brenner's court case being delayed, pushed back more and more. Didn't mention anything about the big push. Didn't mention anything about the independent searchers. Didn't mention anything about the supposed breakthrough and stuff going on in the background with what Candice Cully has said recently. So I guess they're just trying to summarise it roughly with each article, with each event. But the main significance is, right, that Dylan Rounds made it into this article public, right? Publication. Because what you got to remember, okay, you got Aidan Clune, you got Dylan Rounds, but from what other people have said, whether it be Montello, whether it be Lucin, whether it be somewhere else, but within the area or reach, there are many more missing people out there. Well, if that's the case, if there are many other missing people out there and the criticism is that Dylan Rounds has not been covered enough, well, at the end of the day, when you look at it here, the year review of 2022 and only 2 people out of all the missing people made it on this list, and it turned out to be both Aidan and Dylan, you know, it says a lot, doesn't it, considering how the case has been handled. It's been handled badly, it's gone wrong, it's backfired, there's been complaints, there's been all kinds of drama and stuff going on, and yet Dylan Rounds still made it in this article alongside Aidan Clune, who, you know, that case has been criticised for being dropped or forgotten or not covered extensively on YouTube, it being quiet. You see what I mean? So they are being remembered and recognised here, at least, okay? Compared to all the other supposed missing people out there, you know, what's happened to them? Why are they not listed here? I mean, the article could have said at least like a statistic of how many people go missing per year, just like how they did with the drug use. But from the looks of it, this article seems to be more focused on drug-related crime than missing people. And then if that's the case, Elko County, Box Elder County, I know it's a different thing, that different place, but you know, it makes you think. And as well, on the spot, we might as well say it right now, you got Box Elder County, which was mentioned, was it just up here? Well, it says it somewhere, Box Elder County, there you go. Elko County Sheriff's Office assisted Box Elder County Sheriff's Office. Box Elder County were the problem, supposedly, in the case. The ones who Candice Cooley did not like. Elko County were okay, like with this article, Elko County. But if Elko County are okay, the Sheriff's Department were more cooperative and helpful, right? Then why is there not like a stronger focus on then the whole missing person case situation? They're still more focused on drug-related stuff than actual people going missing. Is it all down to money? Possibly. I don't know. Because it's the most popular crime. It receives more attention, more clicks. I don't know. But makes you think, doesn't it? Leave your thoughts down below to what you think about the coverage. And, you know, I guess I've kept it balanced because I guess they have to, but they've not mentioned anything about Box Elder County doing anything wrong. You know, they've kept it very, very balanced, right? Maybe it's probably the best thing to do here, but, you know, they're just summarising it. They're not revealing the true extent of the case. But yeah, we move on to shooting incidents. Let's see if there's any more patterns here. It says, firearms are a big part of Western culture, but at least a dozen people were involved in firing them illegally in Elko over the course of the year. Elko Police Department detectives released a photo of a vehicle believed to have been involved in a June 28th road rage shooting at 12th and Idaho Streets. In another case, on the evening of September 26, someone discharged a firearm into at least 3 Elko businesses, according to police. Now, I wonder that 28th road rage shooting involved drugs, you know, because we were saying earlier that drugs led to violence, psychotic type behaviour. You know, could it be like an overlapping, like, internal thing going on? It could be. Yeah. No one was hurt in either incident and the crimes remain unsolved. So, yeah, okay, no one got killed. Oh, that's not bad. But it's the fact that it remains unsolved. That the well, that's June, isn't it? That's afterwards. But let's say that the people involved in these crimes, these shootings, that it's unsolved, that they are still roaming the streets, the desert, terrain, wherever they are, they're still out there and they could do more down the line, or they may have done more before these incidents were reported. Possibly. Could it have tied in with Dylan? You never know. Major arrest. A Carlin man was charged in January with last summer's high-speed crash that killed a 6-year-old and injured 3 other passengers in Carlin. Zachary Rasmussen, 22 years of age, pleaded no contest to 3 counts of driving under the influence, causing death or substantial bodily harm, and 1 count of failure to stop at the scene of a crash involving personal injury or death. He was sentenced in May to 20 to 50 years in prison. So what we are also seeing here, okay, some crimes might be more serious than others, but in terms of being sentenced, you know, quite a long time serving in prison. So most definitely, when Brenner is eventually charged, providing he's still around, most likely life in prison from the looks of it when you compare it to these other crimes that have gone on, right? I know certain states might be more lenient than others, and then others are very strict, but just trying to establish a pattern, right, of certain crimes and what they can lead to. Again, I said, I'm not an expert when it comes to law or in court because I've not caused any crimes, so you're not going to know all that stuff unless you're involved in some way or another. It goes on to say 4 people were arrested on felony drug charges on Interstate 80 in February. Once again, drug-related charges. The Elko Combined Narcotics Unit confiscated more than 64 grams of heroin and more than 150 grams of methamphetamine, according to court documents. Michael J. Hildenstab, 45 years of age, of Spring Creek, was booked on a charge of trafficking. So once again, they keep referring back to the whole drug thing. And even though this is to do with a different, well, maybe not a different type of crime, but like under a different subtitle, major arrest, drugs is still playing its role within it. Yeah. Oh God, what's this? An Elko woman was arrested in March on an embezzlement charge after being accused of taking hundreds of thousands of dollars from the tire store where she worked as a bookkeeper. And Andrea D. Gonzalez, 33 years of age, used 5 different methods to take money from the shop over a 3-year period, according to a police report. Now that's interesting because although it's a different person, this whole money embezzlement charge is exactly what's been talked about in the Dylan Rounds case, either as a rumour or some kind of theory in which Candice Cooley stole hundreds and thousands of dollars from someone, whether it be a family member, Justin Rounds, or somebody else out there of a business, and moved on, and it happened in the past. You remember that? And then in, I guess, more recent time, it might have been on No Thanks channel, I think it was. It has to be, where it was cleared up about the whole embezzlement thing, and it turned out it was the ex-husband of Candice Cooley who served 10 days in jail and then was released afterwards for this whole embezzlement charge. You remember that? Makes you think. So, just interested to now hear kind of like a similarity with the embezzlement, $100,000, store, business type thing, female responsible, taking methods. I mean, is this yet another pattern of behaviour that might have tied in with the Dylan Rounds case? Let's do a poll right now just to try and summarise it in some kind of way. We talked about the drugs, we talked about how it could have been done or different possibilities. As for an overall motive, we looked at the money part, but that was more to do with maybe Dylan had money, owed money. That was cleared up in the end, resolved. But indirectly, like with the whole embezzlement thing going on in the background and in the past, I'll do a poll right now. Do you think there is a possibility that Dylan was some kind of target, money target, not in which when you kill him you get his money directly, but when you take him out somebody else pays you? Like a contract. Was there some kind of contract killing with Dylan Rounds? Feel free to vote right now. Could be paying someone off to do the job, them doing it themselves, and then taking over the land, selling it down the line, maybe, that type of thing. One interesting comment I did see very, very, very recently by Indiana is that the land, which, is currently owned by Dylan or grandparents, whichever way around it is, cannot be sold on until there is proof evidence of the remains, the evidence of Dylan being found, because he's still there. So it's like a crime scene. It's like an ongoing case, so you can't sell it on because it could harm the case in a negative way, I guess. Okay. So yeah, there's always that. Anything else? It says an Elko man was accused of shooting at his living girlfriend in April when she came to pick up her belongings, which included the gun. Cody D. Twitchell, 29 years of age, of Elko, was arrested on a charge of attempted murder, but the alleged victim declined to give police a statement, so the case was closed. Okay. So it didn't lead to death, but there was an attempt made once again, and it was a male. And for the looks of it, most of these attempted murders have been males. As for the drug-related stuff and the embezzlement, that's been a mixture of females and males. So we've just seen like a certain pattern, of course, right? But then again, I'm sure we looked in the past where there was a possible killing where a female shot a male in the car, whether they were both in the same car or one was trying to get in because it was out of self-defense. So you've also got that to take in mind too. What else do we have? A 69-year-old man accused of firing 5 shots inside a Spring Creek home in April was arrested on gun and felony child endangerment charges. No one was injured. David E. Tina was not supposed to have a gun following a robbery conviction more than 20 years ago in Utah, according to police. An Elko woman was arrested in June on a charge of open murder after police were called to her Southside residence and found her kneeling near her ex-husband, who later died from a stab wound. Brittany S. Feigl, 23 years old, told an officer that Timothy Feigl, 25, had threatened to kill her and that she held out a knife and he ran into it. She pleaded not guilty in November. Wow. Says a man who was shot and wounded in an Elko grocery store parking lot confrontation in December 2016 was arrested in July 2022 in Spring Creek on charges of battery with intent to kill and conspiracy to commit robbery. The victim told deputies that he and Michael May, 33 years old, were completing a yard work job and had a disagreement over how the money would be split when May fired a shot at him. There we go, a work dispute, kind of similar to Brenner and the Maryland shooting at the place he was working at. Work dispute with Don Hately and Dylan, but they went separate ways a bit more peacefully. Could have been yet another work dispute between Brenner and Dylan, accidental or on the spot with intent to take out Dylan. Reversing the truck into him, strangulation, shooting, punching. What could it be? One of them, maybe. Or if other guys were there too. So yeah, the fact that it was from 2016, this one, to 2022 to get arrested, quite some time. But, kind of similarities with Brenner. Well, actually, no, not really, because it's not as long, to be honest. But Brenner in 2021 did what he did, attacked that Bivens, the 70-year-old or close to that age. And it was only in 2022 when Brenner was finally arrested on top of the gun charge. So it makes you think that pattern of, and what we read earlier about certain unsolved crimes, people are still out there, right? And it's like, could any of them have been involved? A Spring Creek man was arrested in July on multiple counts of felony with younger people, abuse and domestic battery after allegedly shooting 2 of his children with a BB gun. That basically means an airsoft gun, okay? An airsoft gun consists of small sphere-shaped plastic spheres, right? Small little balls, okay, plastic, but sometimes there could be metal, Not that they can kill people, but they can definitely cause some kind of injury, Deputies said when Jeremy L. Jarvis, 32 years of age, returned them to their mother, they had multiple red and blue marks on their bodies that were 1/4 to 1/2 inch wide. A former Carlin resident was arrested in August on felony charges of child SA and lewdness. Casey J. Ross, 25 years old, of Boulder City, is of sexual contact with a female under the age of 14 whilst babysitting at a residence in Carlin between June 2019 and May 2021. That is almost the same age as when I think it was Troy Wadsworth in the past. Troy Wadsworth kind of like groomed someone online, a Montello local who was 15 years old, a female, got together. I don't know if it was babysitting or not, but got together and then inappropriate behaviour took place. You remember that? So once again, we're seeing these patterns of crimes, right? So you could associate that within Dylan. Was Dylan groomed by Wadsworth's Kurt in some way? Or did he see something which was impacting someone else? And then maybe Dylan wanted to report it but was silenced. You know, that all that type of stuff, okay? Okay, it says then, an Elko man was arrested in August on a charge of attempted murder after allegedly striking a male relative with his car at 5th and Cedar Streets. The victim told an officer that his cousin Mark Forcum, 29 years of age, had struck him with his red Ford Mustang. So, you know, hitting someone, you know, with intent or not, in this case seems to be attempted from the way it's been worded, but with Brenner possibly reversing his grain truck into Dylan, you know, out of rage, anger, lack of control, accident, whatever, you know, could. Next one. An Ohio man was arrested in August on, and kidnapping charges more than a year after the Elko District Attorney's Office filed a criminal complaint against him. Daniel R. Johns, 48 years of age, of Cleveland, is accused of crimes while he was staying at her mother's apartment in Elko. I think we're reaching the end, almost. Then says, an Elko man who was once charged with attempted murder and has served 4 prison sentences in the last 10 years was arrested in August 2022 following a SWAT team standoff at a house in the Tree Streets. Cody Huff, 30 years of age, was arrested on charges of residential burglary, 16 counts of grand larceny of a gun, grand larceny and possessing a gun by a prohibited person. Now, this bit where, you know, has already served 4 prison sentences in the last 10 years. You know, quite a bit going on there. And also where it says August, a SWAT team standoff at a house. That's the exact same thing that happened with Chase Venstra back in 2016. It might have been in Clinton, the more I think about it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was that 2016 standoff in Clinton, Utah, with the SWAT team, police, and Chase Venstra, who was inside with his grenades, bulletproof vest, guns, knives, etc.? And you've seen similarities once again. A new one. Here we go. A Roindon man was arrested in September on charges of beating his mother, threatening to kill his wife, and shooting holes through the roof of his pickup. Deputies were called to the residence where they found Jordan V. Odell, 27 years of age, standing outside with 2 women and 4 children inside. Okay. Then another one. A man suspected of causing nearly $20,000 damage to 78 stop signs and street signs in Spring Creek was arrested about 2 weeks after the vandalism spree began. Aaron B. Dennison, 50 years of age, told police he was a former employee of the Spring Creek Association. So to be honest, this is probably one of the more harmless cases on here, crimes. 78 stop signs damaged. My. I bet Aaron B. Dennison must have had some, I don't know, negative experiences with those bloody road signs in the past and thought he was going to get his revenge on them. Oh, wow. And then it looks like finally, an Idaho man was arrested in December following a standoff in which a younger female was cut with a knife, touched inappropriately, and threatened to be killed, according to an Elko Police Department report. Oscar J. Hannes, 41 years of age, of Idaho Falls, was booked on multiple charges with bail, listed at $710,000, which is very high, considering most what we've seen have been lower. The only one being higher than this was with the woman earlier on at 1 million, but that was all to do with the drug-related stuff, so you'd expect that to be high. But this one, $710,000 bail. So that's it for the article. Okay, so let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section of that article. Was it summarised well? Did it miss out any other important cases, other missing important people, which was forgotten about? I want to know down below. I'd say in my opinion, the article was kind of limited and basically summarised each crime, because the amount listed there, and there'll be others in the backlog too, it probably would have took forever to type up. So I can kind of understand that. It's more of a summary. It's like a review looking back. I think just the main positive is that Dylan Round's name was mentioned in the article along with Aidan Clune. Now, does Candice Cooley know about this or not? Did she reach out to him, or do they just take matters into their own hand? I don't know. But it was just interesting to see, right? Because the actual article itself did not mention Dylan Rounds, right? But once you scroll through it, his name did show up. And so did Brenna's name too. We didn't mention anything about other suspects or other potential people. Nothing about Don. It was all focused on Brenna. And maybe when certain other suspects or puppet masters see that, and they see it more often, then it will actually please them, because it means the heat is directed off of them, right? So yeah, there's that. If you have any additional other points you want to list down below, you can do so. But now it's the time of WarLike Ref to be exposed, along with Gorilla Jack. So hopefully you are ready. You better be. The likes of Cleo, who said she nearly went into a coma from laughing too hard in the last video. Just make sure to breathe. Cleo, breathe in, hold, breathe out. And again, breathe in, hold, breathe out. That's simple, okay? Now, I think one thing to acknowledge before we go any further, we have come across some very interesting discoveries that Indiana has transitioned into Granny Indy. As for Wes, who is hungrier by the day, growling, it will greatly benefit him, because it means Granny Indy can bake some more cookies for Wes, who's a growing individual. He needs his cookies and maybe some milk too, if he's lucky. That type of thing. So Wes, there you go. Full access to lots of cookies. Very, very lucky, aren't you? I don't know if it's the case, but as for Wes, his facial hair, beard, moustache, it looked like it turned a bit like blonde bleach. Either he borrowed Cleo's dyeing products, or he spent too long around Indiana and too close in proximity, but it bleached it. Bloody hell, what's wrong with your pH levels? Get a grip! I don't know. But one positive that came out of it is, all of a sudden, like finding long lost families and other external interesting odd events, it seems like there are more stepmoms more than ever linked to me somehow. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't even know anymore. It doesn't make any sense. But one positive that came out of it from last night, and obviously that cringy nickname, Raffy. I guess the only positive that came out of it was Raffy received some milk. Well, quite a lot of it, which I guess is a positive. I guess, like, saved some from last night, because obviously it was very good of people in the chat, and you will know who you are. All the people in the chat last night that donated milk to me. I appreciate it. It was very good. Now, the likes of Maria. Oh, Maria. Did she offer any milk? No. Maria, where were you when I needed you? But she did offer me a cow, which I guess it'll do. I hope I don't have to manually use the udders. I mean, it's going to be hard work on these hands. I don't want to, strain them, okay? But speaking of the milk, there is still some left over. Why not do an on-the-spot review? Let me test your milk. Please send it in, and I will test it for you. Now with this one, I think it was all mixed together from all the people yesterday. Oh, that sounds really bad, how I just worded it like that. Oh no. Very smooth, kind of cold, good consistency, not too sweet, not too bitter. It's not past its sell-by date, so you've done something right, okay? Let me try again. Yeah, that's quite good, that. I mean, I don't know where you got your milk from or how you produced it. Like, was it natural? Was it organic? Was it semi-skinned? I don't know what you're capable of, but it seems pretty good, right? I don't know how you made it so smooth. I don't know how you made it so creamy, but yeah. Nearly finished. I mean, take in mind, this could be a tea break or a coffee break for some people, or a time to just recover from what's going to go down shortly. And whilst we're at it quickly, I might as well do a quick ASMR creamy milk swallow. That does not sound right, but what does anymore? So I'll just insert the milk into my mouth. I can't even get myself into frame. I don't know if you heard that, but that was me swallowing. I mean, I think most people swallow milk. Well, of course you fucking swallow milk. You're not going to spit it out everywhere. That'd be pointless, wouldn't it? Wow. Who knows? Anyway, I think what we should do now is literally move on, because it's going to get too dodgy and too weird. We do not want that. So, linking back to Gorilla Jack. Where is he? Tried making calls, tried reaching out to the High Council. Not heard from him since last night. Not that long, but he's gone a bit quiet. Don't know what's gone on. Maybe he's panicked. Yeah. He thought he could run off the face of this flat earth. Well, possibly he did, right? He's not going around in circles, is he? Literally walking off the face of this flat earth. That would all make sense. So in the midst of his absence, wherever that may be, maybe when he fell off the face of this earth, he landed into the galaxy, the glittery, sparkly galaxy, and then ended up in a black hole, also known as Weedlebee's fat ass. My God, it's going to take 10 people to pull Gorilla Jack out of that. You know, it's going to be a messy job. So in the meantime, whilst he is busy, or should I say stuck elsewhere, yeah, as for the vitamins, not only has Jack took them, but he lent some to me. And when I tested the vitamins, I noticed changes to my strength, my stamina, my durability. That's why I could go 4 months straight making videos all the time. And then started doing the odd few weights, exercise, which then led to building a bit more muscle compared to previous, and in a short space of time. You know, you had people already on the case, man. I mean, it was a King Samoan saying I was on TRT. Yeah, man, nothing like that. I'm on something completely different, man. It's called, I don't know what the fuck you call it. Like, GHRT, Gorilla Hormone Replacement Therapy. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm on. Side effects, gonna grow more hair by the day, hairier by the day, completely fucked for some people. My God, don't get too close. You're fucking coughing out the gorilla hair balls out of your mouth, man. Don't ask me why you'd have gorilla hair in your mouth. Well, actually, I really don't know. But I'll tell you one thing to do with cats, okay? I think one thing that has been heavily underestimated is that all this time, whilst we've been looking at cases, we've been looking at possible dangerous people, and dodgy, dangerous people have stepped in within the case possibly, and we might have faced resistance and the rat epidemic. I think one thing to not discount is that the most dangerous person is right here in the chat right now. And they have been for quite some time. Yeah, and they've been present. They've been open, they've been talking, they've been speaking, you know, they've not hid away, right? Begins with a C. Christy. Christy is the most dangerous person in chat at this moment in time, because the amount of cats she has in her house with all the other dodgy animals too, you know, all those claws, you're gonna be shredded to pieces. You know, if Noah was still around to this day, Christy would probably put Noah out of his own job. That Christy's home can hold more fucking animals than Noah's Ark can. My God, we're onto something more than ever, man. You better be aware, Christy, that the camels might come over too. And, you know, can you handle camels, right? Is there space for them? You know, we're looking at that Elko County drugs report thing. No wonder why all those camels are in the zoos in America. All the monkeys have disappeared and it's just full with camels. I wouldn't be surprised those humps are as fake as some people's chest areas. Those humps embedded within, just full of packages of methamphetamine and fentanyl. My God, too much to handle at this point in time, man. Fucking New Year's Eve coming up. We're talking about all these conspiracies. Yeah, man, all these conspiracies. Right now, there's a person digging into the wall. A fucking impetuous piece of shit twat. What's that twat doing next door? I really don't know. He's a fucking dickhead. That's all I know. Once again, dickhead. But yeah, the vitamins, Gorilla Jack gave them to me. Performance enhancing, visually too. Oh my God. I'm not natural? What does this mean? Does this mean that when people advised me to do some kind of exercise workout scheme, I don't even know who it was at this rate. Was it Cindy? Was it Cleo? Was it Maria? Was it Christy? Was it Weedleby? Was it Glitter Galaxy? Was it someone called Wendy? Someone called Mel? Was it someone called Sarah? Was it someone called, I don't know, was it endless list? I don't know who asked me to do it now, but is it all in doubt? Am I not qualified anymore to do some kind of exercise class? What does this mean for me? I don't know at this rate. I think I better get one in right now before I get locked up by the guerrilla police. This cannot come out. I think it's already too late, man. I think they're going to be knocking on the door very shortly. So what you need to do, man, you need to get a fucking dumbbell, okay? Get a weight, get a dumbbell, whether it's on a bar, a barbell, or a dumbbell, and fucking grip that shaft, man. Grip it tight, okay? All eyes on the shaft, okay? I'll put it into sight. You can see that. You can see the dumbbell, okay? Whichever way you want to hold it, like that, or like that, whichever way, okay? You know, if you've got small hands, if you've got delicate hands, then all you do is you grip the shaft with two hands, okay? Firm grip, right? You don't want a loose grip and it drops. Hold it tight, a firm grip. Now, if you've got big hands, okay, use one hand on the shaft like that and then begin exercising, okay? You know, I can't show you the shoulder ones because I'm not in shot, but as for the arm ones, hold it out in front, let it drop down so far, pull it back up so far, and back down, right? Up, down, up, down. You don't have to do it too fast, do it kind of slow, right? Up, down, up, down, up, down. It's all to do with time under tension. If you go all the way down, so it's dropped by the side of you, it's your arm, your muscle is relaxed. If you bring it all the way up to the top, it's kind of relaxed slightly. But if you limit the range of motion so it drops only so far down, you're still holding onto it, your arm's shaking, your muscle is under tension, you pull it all the way back up to here, still under tension, you pull it back down, under tension, pull it back up, under tension. It's like forever being exercised. Does that make sense? So it's a good thing to do. Now, if you want to do a forwards one like this, okay, you're grabbing the shaft, you're going up and down, you're keeping eye contact with the dumbbell to make sure you're doing the correct exercise, the correct form, Up and down, you can do a fast motion whilst holding the shaft, or you can do it nice and slow. It's really up to you. Obviously, technique matters, right? That's how you get the best performance and outcome. Look at that. Yeah. Up and down. Oh, yes. Ah, my arm is burning. Ah. Oh, yes. Now, so you've got to do it in the other hand as well, but we haven't got the time to be doing that, man. Right? Oh, my arm click. That's not too good. So you pull it up, down, limited motion, so it's under tension all the time. Oh, for fuck's sake, my nipple's showing. No. Oh, no. Why did that have to show? What? It's still soft. That's okay. Up and down like that, okay? But then also you can do a side one too, where you have it by the side and you bring it up like that, okay? Oh shit, that looks really, really dodgy the way I'm holding this. And I'm stood in the window with the light on. So everyone's going to see me outside pulling this weight up and down. Fuck, all right, I better stop now. This is getting too out of hand. Oh my God. I'm sorry if you're personally scarred. Don't worry. There are counselling out there. You'll be fine, okay? You'll be fine. Cleo, just breathe. Just breathe, Cleo, okay? Maria, just eat your veggies and it'll be okay. So, I think now that's all out the way, and I'm going to burn down to the ground after this. I've been exposed. It's only right I take you on the journey to the location of where the vitamins are produced and sold, where Gorilla Jack runs it. You think I'm joking? You really think I'm joking? Well, let me show you this. This is going to change your mind and blow it at the same time. Okay, so here we are. As I said, we zoom on now. Obviously, we've got the Montello, we've got the Lucin, we've got Elko County, we've got Box Elder County, the whole lot. And I might have made a mistake earlier. I probably should have said Box Elder County, where Robert Aviles was supposedly apprehended, and not Elko County. Okay, so apologies about that. I only just remembered now. So, as I said, Gorilla Jack, where is he? Where could he be? Oh, well, let's just type this in. Where does it take me? You fucking see that, man. You look at it with your own eyes. Gorilla Jack supplements in Winnipeg. Fucking Canada. Canada! I don't know how it even goes, the song. I'll just sing whatever. Canada, give me a maple leaf. Do not pour any maple syrup on it, please. I don't want sticky hands. Oh, Canada. Is that how it goes? I'm probably close enough. But yeah, what the hell is Gorilla Jack doing in Canada? Oh my God, Gorilla Jack! Weedleby, I hope you're here, because you need to answer. You know, did you know about this Weedleby? Did you know what Gorilla Jack was up to all this time? Did you know Gorilla was jacking himself up? Getting jacked? Muscle? What do you think, huh? I mean, let's just... What do we do? I don't even know at this rate. Let's take a look up close, man. This is what it's all about. Oh my God. Next to boost. What's that? Snow blowers. Interesting. But yeah, Gorilla Jack. We are not a franchise. We are the local guys. Yeah, my boys. We got the Gorilla Jack, my boys, local guys. You know, we do it dodgy. Yeah, what does this say? Great prices, expert advice, sport nutrition, GorillaJack.com, supplements and sport nutrition every day. Real deals, vitamins and supplements. I told you! Vitamins and supplements, Weedleby. I think you need some supplements yourself. My God! This is out of this world, man. I mean, it looks like it's closed down. It's got fucking wire mesh fencing on the door. Yeah, really reinforce it, man, big boy. Yeah, it's really going to work, big boy. Oh, Weedleby, you like it when I call you big boy? I don't know why. There you go. Yes! We've got all of the gorillas on the side. Gorilla Jack himself. Oh my God, Gorilla Jack. You've participated in more sports than Jim Terry has in a lifetime. Oh my God! This is a new level. Gorilla Jack. has participated in parkour and hanging on bars. He's participated in the fucking National Hockey League Association. He's even a fucking Mountie man. Mountie man! Yeah, with a moose. Come on, boy, ride it as far as you can. Fuck the horses. Yeah, horses are big, strong, and powerful, but nothing can beat a fucking hairy moose with his big antlers, man. My God, they're so hard. I would love tugging on those antlers, man. They're more durable than the fucking reins on a horse, man. Yeah, Mountie man. Mighty Mountie man, Jack. Come on. He's also been a boxer, and oh my God, why is he holding a sex toy in his hand? Gorilla Jack, I'm a bit confused. But he appears to have a football, so he knows how to juggle a ball around, which is good. Did you get lessons from Famous Op too, Gorilla Jack? Okay. Oh my God, the windows open up there. I wouldn't be surprised if Gorilla Jack is hiding there. Gorilla Jack, I know you're there. Stick your head out. The police are coming. They're coming for me. They're coming for you, man. There is no escape. Yeah, look at that. All orange. No bananas, though. I'm very disappointed, Gorilla Jack. Where's it gone? Dodgy blue door around the back. Some dodgy, dusty cars. My God, it needs decorating. Oh, my God. This is terrible. Do you know what, man? Don't worry. I can recommend to you a very reputable company. What you need to do is contact the Wadsworth Construction Company, and not only will you have a full exterior makeover, but as well in the process they hand out a free wig of orders over $500. So, you know, if you get the money correct, Gorilla Jack, you will come out with a new full wardrobe courtesy of Kurt Wadsworth's Construction Company. So get in there quick before it goes, because it's a very rare limited offer, okay? Oh, who's that? Is that person disposing of a body? My God. It's darker than what I thought it was. Muddy footprints on the ground as well. Yeah, what does that say? Spartan. Yeah, Spartan. Warrior. Exactly, definition of my name. Interesting. Very. So a bit of a dodgy neighborhood. Yo, fool! Give me the money right now! You go with the banana, you go with the KFC, okay? Give me the chicken, boo! Yeah. I don't know if you're going to get jumped, but there you go. Obviously, the most important part is... Oh my God, even Joseph has moved in. St. Joseph's Ukrainian Catholic Church. Yes! Come on, Joseph. My God, you're surpassing Tyler Feller in religious fucking intellect, man. My God, this ain't no RPG game, man. You're in the High Council. St. Joseph. How fitting. And I bet there is a sister one as well. St. Josephina of Catholic churches, isn't there? Don't try and hide it, Joseph. It's okay. Wheelie's Family Roller Centre. Wheelies. Wheelie. I can't say it. Wheelie's Weedleby. Oh my God, everyone is here. Roller skating, yeah. Go roller skating with the girls on ice. My God, that's what it's all about. Oh my God, where's it gone? What's that? Oh, we've lost it. Shit. Okay, let's get into the place now. Who are those people? I don't even know. Gorilla Jack. Hey, Gorilla Jack, have you got other people working for you, huh? Is this whilst you're in South Africa? You're doing money embezzlement like Candice Cooley. What? What's going on? Okay, we've got a bent sign on the outside. Interesting. I want to look inside. Yeah! Fucking super high vasodilating pump. Yeah, give me a pump. Bigger by the day, man. More so in the morning time. Never mind. We insert this pill. It looks like it's more of a red pill, but then there's a white tip on the end, followed by white of fucking French flag. Magnifique, ooh la la, petit pois. Fucking shove it in my mouth like a baguette. Maximum vasodilating pump, pre-workout formula. Yeah, red, white, and blue. Come on, we the people. We the people insert it into ourselves, and we benefit and feel great afterwards. Do not pull it out. Keep it in. Okay. Yes. Definitely motivated to take it. We got some whey. Yeah. Be you, be whey, be gay. Nailed it. Fucking nailed it. Literally. Premium quality whey protein recovery formulae. What does it contain? Don't quite say. Contains protein or petit lait. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Talk to me in French, please. What does that say? Des protéines de petit la haute qualité. Yes. It's very creamy and white. Antibiotic free. Vanilla ice cream. Yeah. You want a full muscle deep recovery. Yeah. You feel really sore. Yeah, your muscles are really tired. Your body hurts at every moment and you moan. Yeah. You get some protein down your fucking mouth. You swallow it hard. You get vanilla ice cream flavor and your body heals. No need for Tyler and his blessings no more. We've got Gorilla Jack and his whey gay protein recovery. Come on. You know, at this rate, some of these products could be advertised and handed on over to Jim Terry to try after his American indoor football sports going on. You need some whey protein to recover, man. Yeah, Gorilla Jack, come on. Yeah, get with the branding. Is that it? Oh, you know, you're teasing Gorilla Jack, just like how you probably do with Weedleby, right? Not giving it all, going halfway in, but always leaving more for later. You know, it must be the banana talking, right? How you peel it. Peel so much back, have a nibble, and then come back later. But I guess with your banana, it doesn't go black and it doesn't go soggy, unlike some. So, you know, I think you've got it under control. So, yeah, this is the place I have visited. I've been to Canada. Of course, obviously. That's why I am so polite and I have very good manners and high standards, of course. And I can speak French, yeah. And yeah, Gorilla Jack, he gave me some. It worked. I went back, I got more. And it's been like that ever since. But the thing is, the second part of the exposing is what about my diet, yeah? I'm a mixture between a bodybuilder and a fat prick. You see my stomach? It's like a fucking tire expanding. I'm waiting the day for it to fucking burst and explode and I'm going to fly all over the place. That's a health hazard, man. I'm a walking disaster. God. And why? How was that caused? You know exactly what caused it, yeah? Yeah, you know. You know, man. What's this place called? Winnie what? Winnie Pooh? Is this Winnie the Pooh? No, it's Winnipeg. Shit. Same thing. There we go. Literally right outside Weedlebee's roller skate park and opposite Gorilla Jack's vitamin supplements, we've got Burger King. And this is the place I went to every single day, okay? Filling myself up with all the meat. You look here, you look inside. I mean, I bet some people are very disappointed already. Some people are gasp, shocked, thinking I went to Little Caesars Pizza, or I went to KFC, or I went to Wendy's, or I went to Corral, or that I went to Five Guys. No, I'm not the type of person that takes on Five Guys. Maybe you do. Maybe Weedleby does. Maybe Bella V does. I don't know. Do you take on Five Guys at once? Maybe you do. Good for you. I don't. Oh, yeah, you thought I said Five Guys. Yeah, the fucking fast food place. What do you think I was talking about? Five Guys? Five fivers? Five fivers for 5 pancakes? What's going on? Is this some kind of special offer? Give it to me now. Where's my coupon codes? Oh, I'm sorry. The shack lady has stole all the coupon codes because, aside from everything else, she's a coupon code cancelling expert, man. Fucking hell. Give me the handcuffs and arrest me right now because I've got nothing left to live for. My God. Anyway, let's move on because it's getting a bit out of hand. Some dodgy photo. Oh, thank God, no. The play area. No, Joseph. Come out of there now, Joseph. You're going to get in trouble. Go back to the Catholic Church, Joseph. It's for the best. Oh, no. Where's the actual food? Literally. This is supposed to be showcasing and advertising my diet. And instead, it's doing a complete opposite. It's walking away from me like my hairline. What's going on? We've got some little bulbils dangling. Not too many. Kind of disappointing. Impossible Whopper. Oh, for fuck's sake, that's vegan. Yeah, I'm a vegan. I'm a vegan teacher. I'm going to teach you how to eat healthy. I've got a PhD in Maria Mayano. Absolutely. I've studied her extensively and I know exactly what works and what doesn't. What the hell am I talking about? I don't know. Chicken fries. Now we're hiring. No, thank you. You've got the skills, we've got the grills. Yeah, man. Yeah, turn on the heat. The flames are burning my ass off right now. That's exactly what I want. That's motivational language. That's enough to make the likes of Fame's up to rise up from the ground, even though she's burning in the ground from a fucking flu. Going to the skills with the grills. Yeah, Indiana would be proud of this text. I wouldn't be surprised if Indiana came up with this language and rhyme. You're going to do more poems, yeah? Flame grilled meals. Kind of chunky, that. Okay, so Christmas related, so we're kind of in the zone, right? It's relevant. What else do we have? Outside, it's got a bit cold, a bit frosty. Quick, get me back in. I'm getting cold. So my hands, yeah! God! Ted Bundy has already been here. My God. Look at that burger. I mean, it could be worse, right? It could be worse. We got some mayonnaise, mayonana. I don't know how you say it in Espanol. And then we got the cheese. We got the bacon, kind of like strips of it. Could be a bit better. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's a bit wet, a bit moist, a bit of a wet picture. Too much for me. Okay, so the next photo. What the hell is this? What's this got to do with Burger King's classic jeans? Why have you got classic jeans on? Oh, scenes. Limited edition, 1 of 10,000 produced. Road Champs collectibles. Have any of you heard or seen this before? What's this got to do with Burger Kings? Do they give them out as premium Happy Meals? Have they upgraded more than McDonald's? What's going on? I don't know. We got the default photo. That's fake. Fake ass bitch. The burger is not real. Just like your face. Yeah. Flame grilled. Yeah, exactly. Flame grilled. Burn it to the ground because I'm about to roast you, man. Not even trying. What do we got here? We got the Bacon King. The Oreo. Yeah. Hey, my name's Madison. I'm going to call my doggy Oreo because that's such a trending name. I want to stand out from the crowd. Yeah, my little Oreo boo-boo. He just did a poo-poo. Oh my God, fucking dirty little bitch. And of course, the New York cheesecake. I can't do a New York accent. That's unfortunate. Come on. Yeah, that's exactly what I go for. This is the type of meal I go for. So we talked about RAF being exposed. So basically what I do, I go into Burger King's, of course, and then I look for regurgitated, half-bitten food like this, and then I finish the rest off. Okay? So, you know, it's a bit wild, a bit raw, right? Not literally, but, you know, you get the idea. You know, you got to do what you can, right? And something like this, which has been half bitten and chewed and spat out, it will do. There's still enough protein within it and probably mixed in with some other kinds of chemicals, which are probably not that appealing. But, you know, God, needs must, man. And even a used serviette, just fantastic. Yeah. What else do we have? Oh, for fuck's sake, what is it, this guy? What are you doing? Road Champs Collectibles. Anniversary tribute to the champions of the road. Anniversary is an homage ex-champion de la route. Limited edition, 1 of 10,000, 30th anniversary, 40th anniversary, 50th anniversary. My God, how long has this survived for? Wow. And we got Batman in the back. Yeah. Basically, what this person is doing is trying to be a high-end functioning... Yeah, literally a high-end functioning narcissist working in societal sectors while showing off his special Hot Wheel hot rod and champion road collectible vehicles in a fucking Burger King photo thing to show how
how rare and lucky he is, and you know he's probably sell for lots of money, man. Stop rubbing it in. Why don't you go down to a pawn shop and then that guy will say, "Oh, let me reach out to the expert, man. Oh, that's only $5. That's all I can offer right now." Fuck, waste of money, man. Literally. Yeah, spit it out, boy. Come on, Weedleby, you gonna finish that off? Yeah. Come on, fucking eat it right now. It's not going to cause you any harm. Can't get any worse, can it? It'll be fine, Weedleby. Just a little bit more. It'll be okay. Can I have some more? Yes, you can. You can have the whole lot. So, when you see things like this, it's like, wow. I've not been surprised that much in recent time, but it's one of those things that when you get a Willy Wonka golden ticket, you treat it like a treasure chest. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Oh no, why are we getting closer to the play area? This is not advisable. Warning, any act of vandalism in the playground will be reported to the police. Oh my god, what are you going to get? Little children gangsters going in with wrenches and monkey wrenches and crowbars and are going to start smashing the place up. What do you think these children are made of? Oh my god, are they from Ohio? I don't know. Attention, playground area is prohibited. Well, that's a good start, isn't it? Looks like it's locked. I hope no one was locked inside. No way. Oh, fuck off with your Batman toy car collection. Does it look like I give a shit? 1960s DC Comics Batmobile 1/34 scale diecast pickle whatever. Corgi, yeah? I think Mr. Alfred is calling for your help because a bookhouse... my fucking god, I can't talk. Let me try and reiterate that again. Sorry. I think Mr. Alfred is calling for backup, Batman Pratman. The bookshelf has fallen on him, but I bet secretly he pulled it on himself because he couldn't stand you showing off with your narcissistic Batcar toy collection. What does he have? What's going for him? Nothing, man. Just a load of dusty old books in the Bat Cave, sat behind a fucking computer screen, probably treated as a keyboard warrior, just like all the keyboard warriors on the fucking chat. It's not good, is it? Yeah. Wow. You open it up and it's hollow. Yeah. Hollow like your heart. There's nothing there. My god, girl. You need to fix yourself. Yeah. You see that ring? Even that doesn't even fit properly. It's probably stuck in your finger. Yeah. Work it out. The numbers don't lie. Look at that. The mozzarella. Oh, fuck off with your die-cast cars. American Giraffe. American Giraffe. What's that got to do with a car? Johnny Lightning. Whoa, careful where you stick that. Okay, so finally, there you go. WarLike Ref, Gorilla Jack have been exposed once and for all. Mainly WarLike Ref. Who knows what will happen to him next? I mean... It's going to be a public outcry, man. The whole lights are going to be flashing in the streets, and it's just about coming to the end of the year. Wild. Exactly. But also, if you did join late and you were wondering where the Dylan Rounds content and the coverage and the overall crime stats and everything were at, and the historical records, make sure to rewind to the start of this video because that's where we focused and covered it, okay? That was interesting, once again, to look through it all and see all the other crimes, the types of people, the differing ages, and similarities in patterns of behaviour by some, right? And the external stuff that's gone on behind the closed doors, which are in the jails, right? And prisons refusing to take those violent people in. So you get an idea, a full thing of how things are going. I'm just trying to adjust this, how it's a bit wonky. So yeah, I think that sums it up. Tomorrow I'm not going to do a video. That's just because it's New Year's Eve and going to be busy again. So I'll say it now in advance. Have a good New Year's Eve and a Happy New Year, okay? I'm sure nothing can go wrong, can it? What could possibly go wrong? Like, oh. Wait, why are these on me? Wait, why are these like really tight? Like, these aren't loose, these are like
pressing against my skin. Like, can you see what is going on? Like, you know, I've been doing this video all this time and then someone secretly put these on me, unknown to me at the time. No. Don't tell me this is Caesar's downfall. No. This can't be right. This can't be right. Like, what the hell? Wait. Maria? Cleo? Glitter Galaxy? Christy? Wait, Mel? Anyone else? Ashley? Flames up? No. This was not agreed. Oh, Cindy, not you as well. Not Indiana. No, this was not agreed. What? No. You're not going to do that. No.